Customers on Auto, and in this video I'll be talking about abandoned carts, what they are, why they are a terrible thing to experience, and how you can turn a negative situation such as an abandoned cart into a really positive situation with automated messenger flows. So let's get into it. So I'm going to start off with a little story, and anyone who has ever listened to a story, which is everyone, knows that all good stories start with once upon a time. Once upon a time, there was a very enthusiastic and dedicated e-commerce store owner. This person had set up a wonderful store selling a product that they knew would benefit their customers. They had researched it well. They had written out great copy listing all the benefits. They had great creatives and had done everything that an e-commerce store owner could possibly do, and then started running adverts. Let's say they started running the adverts on Facebook, and they created adverts and they created lots of ad sets, lots of audiences that they thought would be right for the product. And lots of people visited the web page, and a lot of people put their information into the pages to get to add their information to the cart and to checkout and shipping, and then they just left. Now, if you're watching this, you are probably an e-commerce store owner, or you're thinking about it, or you're another type of internet entrepreneur, and you want to know how to make a positive out of a negative. And this is exactly what this video is going to talk about. So although abandoned cart can be a very negative thing just on appearance, as the famous quote by Think and Grow Rich author Napoleon Hill says, every failure brings with it the seed of an equivalent success. And I'm going to show you how using Messenger can turn this seemingly negative abandoned cart scenario into a huge opportunity. So before that, let's talk a bit about what an abandoned cart is. It is not a shopping cart left far away from the supermarket where kids have played in and rolled down a hill. Although I do have to say I did that when I was young and got hurt. It is something completely different. So let's talk about abandoned carts and why they are a huge problem. So I have to move my mind map around. So firstly, why is this? Why are abandoned carts a huge problem? Well, firstly, they are something that happens a lot. It's estimated that something like $18 billion is lost annually from all the people that look at a website, decide they want to buy, and then at some point they just stop the process. And it is extremely frustrating for any e-commerce store owner. So I have had an e-commerce store in the past, and I found this to be a really frustrating thing, mainly because you are spending a lot of money on adverts getting people to your website. And when people leave without doing the action that you want them to, which is to make the purchase, it just makes it really, really frustrating. Right, let's look at some statistics. So it seems like that between 56% and 81% of people decide to abandon the cart, with an average of 75%. So that's really a lot, like 3/4 of people give up halfway when they are making a purchase. But why does this happen? All right, well, we have lots of reasons. Some of them are that people want to see all the possible extra costs that might that might apply to them after they have decided to make the purchase. So they check to see if there's any taxes, what the shipping will be, if there's any shipping, what the wait time will be, especially if someone is buying something from a store that's having a product shipped from overseas, such as with drop shipping. You really want to find out how long it's going to take, because that's an extra cost associated with the person, and they may like what they see on the advert and test out the website just to check out how long it'll take to arrive, and then just decide to get it from the Jeff Bezos everything store, Amazon. Another reason why they might abandon cart is there might just be too much info required. You might need to create an account, there might be too many fields, the site could take a really long time to load. So if you're someone with a website that takes a long time to load, then get that looked into. There's plenty of websites and information on how to do that. Another reason could be that there was a discount code promised and it doesn't work, and people feel a bit disappointed by that and move away. And then there's some non-e-commerce, the actual, some problems that are not the fault of the e-commerce store owner, which is distractions. I mean, there's a lot going on in everyone's lives these days. Telephone could ring, notification could happen, all kinds of stuff. So they might just navigate away. So with all of these, if you do have a e-commerce store and you want to reduce your percentage of abandoned carts, then lots of things you could do, like make everything really clear from the start, don't require an account to be created, improve your site speed, cut down on all the fields, and stuff like that. But this video is not about general advice on how to reduce abandoned cart. It is specifically about something else. So where in the process does this happen? And the reason I am bringing this question up is that I'm gonna run through a funnel map of how the user purchases something, and then show how we can improve this with Messenger. So let's go over to our keynote. So just to backtrack a little bit, I am in touch with a e-commerce store company and put together a proposal to help them with a particular problem that they mentioned that they have, which is abandoned carts. So let me show you actually. This is the company. It is a company that had originally started out with some infrared spas in New York, and right now they're selling a whole bunch of things that people could use at home to get an infrared experience. Now there's a lot of benefits to this. They sell an infrared sauna blanket, an infrared mat, and so let's go ahead and look at this mat. So the benefits of using an infrared mat is you get reduced stress, increased energy, better sleep, improved circulation, and improved muscle recovery. So they're running adverts to this mat. As you can see, the price point is slightly on the higher side, and it's unlikely that this would be something that people buy on impulse. So they do get a lot of abandoned carts. So I put together some ideas about how Messenger and I can help them with this problem, and we're currently discussing my ideas, and I thought it would be a good idea to make this video about abandoned carts whilst putting together this information, and having these meetings with them is all fresh in my mind. So let's go through it. These are the Facebook ads that they're running. They have a number of different adverts with great creatives, videos, and great copy, and they are, as all Facebook adverts, connecting people through a Shop Now button or a Learn More button to take them through to the website, which we saw just before. And people read the sales page, which they're looking at here, you're looking at here. Then they go to the cart page. So I don't know the percentage of people, but let's say, for example, that 30% go through to the cart page and put in their information. So let's go here through to the cart page. So I have the Facebook Pixel Pixel Helper installed, so I can see they do have a Facebook Pixel installed here. So Facebook ads and the Facebook Business Manager can track who is visiting here. This is the page that you confirm. Go to checkout. And this is the page where you put in your email address and find out. You can find out shipping on the next page. So I've got the cart page and the checkout page. So it's 1, 2, 3 pages in before the email address gets put in. And after the shipping page, where you find out the shipping page, if people have gone this far through, then they might be committed to actually pressing the buy now button and getting their order. It's only at this page that the email autoresponder can kick in and send follow-up emails if someone decides to navigate away. So that shows the standard funnel map. Alright, so this is how a map of the funnel would look using Messenger flows. So I have this page and this page. And this page has more notes. I'm going to talk about all of this, but you'll be able to see it in more detail later on. But before I go through those, I want to explain exactly how to turn this seemingly negative abandoned cart experience into a positive. So, as I mentioned before, let's go back to this. At this point, you can automatically follow up with emails. And one of the good news about using email to follow up with someone that abandoned a cart is that the open rate of an email coming out from a store after a cart has been abandoned is much higher than standard e-commerce email open rates. So you can actually get quite a good open rate, 45% versus about 15%, which is the average e-commerce store open rate across all industries. I usually quote 20%, but it can be as low as 15%. And with these kind of email follow-ups, you can recover some revenue if you have a good email, and obviously people are much more appreciative or incentivized by some type of discount. A decent percentage would help, and that's also another reason why people do abandon carts. They possibly are waiting to get a discount. It's the equivalent of being in a market and haggling with the store owner and walking away. So that's the automated email follow-ups. The other way is through retargeting, and the Facebook Pixel, which is the piece of code that follows people around after Facebook adverts, means that you could create a custom audience of people that have added to cart, and the next time they log into Facebook, they could see another advert. And this advert could be perhaps another video or something like that, and then that takes them back to the page. However, and this is part of my proposal to Higher Dose, is we would use a click to messenger advert. So, why is this so powerful? And why is this such a positive? Well, click to messenger adverts open at a much higher rate. So you have typically a 2 to 4 times higher open rate, and it takes them straight into a conversation in their inbox. So it's not just an advert, it is now a interactive, customized, personalized conversation right in their messenger inbox through an automated messenger flow. And you can use this to explain the product benefits. And I've created a demo, which I will put the link in and you'll be able to try it out here. And the client liked the demo, which was good. One of the wonderful things about Messenger is that it typically has an 80% open rate and click-through rate of messages. If someone looks at the first block of message and likes what they see, and it's not just the words, you can also put pictures and small bits of video, they'll click through to the end. And depending on how you structure the conversation, if you use a lot of positive language and what is known in sales as a yes ladder, with the yes buttons being on the viewer's side of the automated conversation, you can take someone right through to the end. And if you have a strong CTA, again with a great discount, a time-limited discount, then you're more likely to get a sale than just showing an advert in a newsfeed, which is quite easy to ignore, let's face it. So that's one thing. And then the other thing is that if someone interacts with an automated messenger flow, they then become a subscriber. And that means you can reach out to them again at any point with adverts that are continuations of the conversation that they had, and they go right into the messenger conversation in their inbox. So let me repeat that. If you have someone as a messenger subscriber, you can contact them again, not by an advert in their Facebook feed, but by a continuation of the message in their messenger inbox. They'll see a notification, just like, if it's something from a friend, and naturally they're going to click it and open it. And just like email marketing, people can unsubscribe easily, but if it's like something just really quick and easy, the problem with emails is that you actually have to click on it in the inbox, open it, let it load, and it's just, people have busy lives and they're not going to open emails and inboxes. However, when it's a messenger message, it's got that notification and they just want to have a quick look at it. So this is great for all types of things, and I'll give some examples of that later on. One idea here would be for delivering lead magnets. So going back to our example of the client with the infrared mat, at that kind of price point, maybe someone wants to know more about the benefits of the mat, and give them something to mull over before they make their final decision. All right, let's have a look. We'll go back to this visual funnel map, which is here. So again, this was the original funnel mapped out: Facebook ad, sales page, cart page, checkout page, shipping page, thank you page. Person abandons at this point. From the Facebook pixel targeting that page and the potential of custom audiences in Facebook Business Manager, we can create an audience of people that have abandoned cart and show them a retargeting advert. And so what I'm suggesting to the client is that we have an advert that is a click to messenger advert with a series of messages. So this whole section of messages here is just a few blocks of interactive conversation back and forth, and it would take maybe about a minute to go through, and it happens in their messenger inbox. The first message would just be something introducing, so people know exactly who it's from. In this case, it's from the company, Iodose. And typically we see open rates of about 80% with messenger messages. So if someone clicks the first one, it's pretty likely that they're going to continue towards the end because it's something that they're interested in the first place, and it's just a very quick conversational message. However, the important point is that once they've interacted with this first page, they then become Messenger subscribers that you could reach out to again in the future. So you could explain what the purpose of the Messenger conversation is, talk about the benefits of the infrared mat, share some testimonials via carousel, and then give a CTA, call to action, with a really good discount to encourage them to make an immediate purchase. And then that takes them to the checkout page. You can also follow up with them up to 24 hours later for free. These are Facebook's rules. You can follow up with someone for 24 hours later. So if they at this point decide not to buy, one day, slightly less than 24 hours later, 23 hours later, you can send them a follow-up message in their inbox asking them if they're interested, perhaps offering them a graded discount or something like that. So in the demo that I created, I did not connect it with an email autoresponder, but you could, and it would be a good idea to, somewhere within the flow of this message, ask them if they're interested in receiving something, a lead magnet or something in their email inbox, and then this would pre-populate with their email address that they use for their Facebook account. That's a really important point, and I'll come back to that in a moment. And that would connect to their email autoresponder, MailChimp, Klaviyo, ActiveCampaign, whatever, via Zapier webhooks, and you could then follow up with them in both channels. You've got them as Messenger subscribers and email inboxes. So let's go through. If you're watching this on a small screen, you might not be able to read all this, but you can always go back and pause it. This was actually part of the proposal that I gave to the client, so I put notes on it again. So it's going to be an abandoned cart retargeting advert on Facebook, with the button in the advert to be click to Messenger. First message would be an intro. Whole conversational sequence would be about 6 to 8 blocks of interactive messages, listing out benefits and stuff like that. And now this important point about the email address. If you've been in any type of marketing, digital marketing, for any period of time, you're very familiar with this expression, the money is in the list. And this is talking about emails, of course. Because it's really easy to follow up with people with emails. And that's what everyone does. Everyone's giving away discounts or contests and things just to get your email address so they can follow up with you in the future. And that's great. But email open rates are really low. They're less than 20%, depending on the industry, as low as 15% for e-commerce stores. So that's why it's really important to have an omni-channel presence. And Messenger is great because it's got an over 80% open rate and 35% click-through rate. And it is an easy way to recontact people. However, contacting them after the first 24 hours means that you have to do it through the Facebook Ads Manager. But the good news is that the costs are really low. It's about $20 for a CPM of $20, which means you get a really good ROI, and it is messages delivered right in the Messenger inbox, which is much more powerful than just regular Facebook adverts. And the other thing about delivering asking for email addresses in the middle of the Facebook Messenger flow is that you will get their email address, and most likely it'll be the email address that they have associated with Facebook. Now, why is that important? It means that you've got email addresses that you can then upload and create custom audiences out of, and lookalike audiences for further cold targeting. So those are really, really useful, and it's one of the many benefits of using Messenger. All right, so you have seen the mapping out of the funnel, and probably now you are ready to actually take a look at the demo. So for the client, I put it in a QR code, this attractive personalized QR code that I made. So let's open up this as a link. Open link. So remember, this would be the message, the advert that they see in Facebook, and this is for my demo page. Okay, so it starts out here. This would be the beginning of the advert. So this is the copy I've written. Did you ever imagine what you would like to get the benefits of a workout while relaxing? Well, our sauna blanket makes this dream a reality. So we started out with an image. So this is the viewer's side, the potential customer's side of the conversation. Just clicking messages to continue. And it's personalized with my name. So it's a quick explanation of the benefits of the product. So I got a lot of these benefits just from the web page. Okay, a question. So as I said before, we structure all conversations designed for a conversion, and it obviously the more people are saying yes, 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 then it gets them in that frame of mind. However, you can also have multiple. You can have yes, sure, or perhaps not, tell me about something else. We can create these conversations to have multiple different flows. All right, so we have benefits, some nice gifts to entertain people. So these are the kinds of things that people share with their friends. So imagine someone looking at this, they'd feel emotionally quite friendly, emotional states, which is why it's such a good, more natural way of communicating with people. Want to know how it works? Definitely. So explaining more about the sauna, how it works. Again and again asking a question. Don't just take our word for it. What do you mean? And here I took, so this is a carousel of, I think I took 3 famous people that they have on their site that are talking about the benefits of using this. Model, an editor, and so on. So a bit more of an explanation, talking more about how it works from a technical point of view, and then press the order button to go back to the page. And obviously I haven't purchased this, so I'm not in there. I haven't been through their cart experience, so, but otherwise it would take them straight back. And if you time that with a discount, then you can see why a lot of people would be very interested in making that purchase if they were interested in the first place. Then you've also got that 1 day later reminder, and as the late night infomercial guy says, but that's not all. You also have them a messenger subscriber, where you can reach out to them again with 80% open rates, 30% click-through rates. So some other entry points that I'm in discussion with this particular company, apart from abandoned cart, we could have some other ideas like buyer thank you ads, which is exactly what it says, thanking someone who has already made a purchase, and just following up with them, making sure they don't have any buyer's remorse, perhaps sharing with them a instruction manual, or explaining how long it would take for their product to arrive, or giving them a coupon that they could share with a friend. Another idea was using all Instagram story swipe up. So they've got an Instagram page with over 10,000 followers. I think it was like 25,000, something like that. And as with Instagram stories, you can have links. That would be another entry point to get people into a messenger flow. You could deliver some type of lead magnet. And yeah, anytime you want to follow up, you have this great ROI with your Facebook ads, CPM of around $20. Uh, so next time they have a blog post, they could share it on their Facebook page, they could share it on their Instagram, which they are. They could send it out by email, but you've got only a 20% open rate with email. And you can also share blog posts with people via Messenger and ask them to share on their social media if they're interested and get the word out more. Contests with follow-up, any promos or special events. And that is basically how you turn a negative of an abandoned cart into a positive with Messenger. So it may seem like this is quite a small point, but as W. Clement Stone said, big doors swing on little hinges. And one of the great things about Messenger is that we can help people get more conversions, more sales, and more customers on autopilot. Thanks very much for watching, and if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Okay, thanks, bye.